You covered with your first alert weather and traffic. Angela Foster standing by for our check on our roads this morning. But let's start with first alert meteorologist Steve Sasa. Steve, hopefully this weather won't interrupt too much of our Friday plans.
Yeah, we're hoping so, Amy, and we're hoping for that best case scenario, which would be little in the way of severe weather. But we need to plan on a day where we do have some warnings and also some powerful thunderstorms here, at least in parts of the area as this area of storms moves on through this afternoon. A live look outside, you can see all the murkiness. The air just looks soupy, and it is soupy. It is very humid outside. We have patchy areas of morning fog. Some of that was dense earlier this morning. It's starting to gradually lift. Some strong storms possible here early this morning, but it's more likely that the severe weather threat would be this afternoon here with damaging winds, hail, and some downpours. You can see that mixed sky across the region. Sunshine in Annapolis, but clouds at BWI Marshall. Partly sunny in Westminster, so sky conditions vary from place to place. Northeastern Maryland is seeing most of the gloom here as they're socked in with fog, although the visibility is now above a mile, which means that real dangerous fog is starting to lift. We have an eye on first alert radar. That's what we will be watching all morning into the afternoon of how these thunderstorms play out. You can see a developing line there south of Williamsport. We'll keep an eye on that to see how that plays out. That may trigger a few storms here later this morning, especially across northeastern Maryland, and then the rest of Maryland could see some storms here this afternoon and into this evening. Welcome back to CBS News Baltimore on this Friday, this alert day and also Black-Eyed Susan Day. So a lot happening here on this Friday. That's why we want you to keep weather top of my Maryland Science Center camera this morning. It is muggy and soupy outside, and that is one of the ingredients here for potentially some severe weather here this afternoon. There's an interesting live shot there from our harbor camera where we had fog so dense you couldn't see anything on that picture. Visibility has now improved. So a changeable weather morning, and now we even have a few spotty showers starting to develop now to our west. We'll show those on first alert radar in a second. So patchy fog, those stray showers and storms here this morning. A severe weather risk here this afternoon where those showers track this morning. They're going to lay down what we call a boundary, and the storms this afternoon are going to interact with that. So that could pose the threat of some severe weather with some hail, large hailstones in some pockets. Damaging winds and even an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. Tomorrow, I think heat and humidity are the bigger story for most of us. There still could be a few isolated storms, and any storm that does manage to form on your Saturday could be severe. But the trend is for those storms to form along our eastern shore communities. It is a soupy morning with that fog widespread across Harford and Cecil counties. We have a dense fog advisory through 9 o'clock this morning, but a lot of that fog now starting to show signs of lifting, thankfully so. 72 now in Stevensville. There's a warm front that's lifting north across our area. That warm front draped right along the Baltimore County, Harford County line here, and so it's trying to lift to the north. And along that boundary, we are seeing some showers firing up here. You can see just north of Frederick up to the Pennsylvania line. We'll keep an eye on this as it tracks parallel to Interstate 70. That may move into parts of Baltimore County and then also northeast Maryland. As I mentioned, it's just showing up here to the west of B in Baltimore. First alert weather day here for today. The reason why we have storms possible. Today's storms could bring damaging winds, hail, and also some heavy rainfall. We'll have to watch that too as the ground is saturated from Tuesday's rain, and an isolated tornado threat is still on the table. Here's 9 o'clock this morning on our future radar. There's that broken line of showers and storms as it moves to our north and east, and then the line tries to redevelop to our west, and as you can see, that line starts to come through here. This is just one model run here, so that's showing storms moving through between 12 and 3. Other models have it a little bit later. So the takeaway from this is anytime after lunchtime, we have the potential of severe weather through early this evening. So keep an eye to the sky, and of course, we'll have any warnings here or watches issued on CBS News Baltimore. 85 in Glen Elk today. We're on your quarter in Columbia. 85. Ellicott City with some severe storms possible again this afternoon. Same deal in Anne Arundel County. Any severe storms would be after lunchtime. 84 Glen Burnie, 79 in Annapolis. And finally, up in Cecil County, you could have a couple of rounds of storms. One round here this morning, another round by early afternoon. And welcome back to CBS News Baltimore. We're live with you here at 8:19 on a Friday morning. Gloomy shot there. The air is filled with humidity. And eventually we will be seeing some storms that are going to feed off that humidity and heat of the day. And some of those storms could be severe. So it's Black-Eyed Susan Day. It's a Friday, and we're, approaching the unofficial start of summer. So a lot of things going on right now. So we want to keep you weather aware. First and foremost, we had some fog this morning in northeastern Maryland. That's starting to lift. We have some showers now forming out in Frederick County. We'll see if any of those start to brew into some storms. Right now, the environment not that favorable, but this afternoon, as we start to warm up, strong to severe storms could become a possibility as early as lunchtime through the afternoon hours. So those storms could erupt at any time. Any of those storms could pack damaging winds, also large hail. Those are the two biggest threats out of those storms, although heavy drenching downpours where these storms roll through. And we can't rule out an isolated tornado, but like I said, damaging winds and hail, the greatest concerns on this first alert weather day. There could be some storms here tonight. We're trending towards southern Maryland with those storms because of the atmosphere today is more favorable. And then tomorrow, some isolated strong storms, mainly eastern shore communities, and then a big reward Sunday and Monday. Catch our breaths because more rain possible Wednesday and Thursday of next week.